Hey troops, welcome back to today's video. My name's Ryan, I'm a former Royal Marines Commando, and today we're going to be reacting to some combat footage. It's assault operations near Kreminna, Azov seizes and clears enemy positions. This stuff's pretty intense, guys, but from what I can gather, there's nothing too bad that I can't do it on YouTube. So we're going to react to it anyway, we're going to break it down. It is a documentary series that I'm reacting on anyway, so I think it's okay. But before we get into it, like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you in the comments, troops. Thank you for being here. Much love. Let's get straight into it. Right, so I have got the subtitles on. Why? Because obviously I don't speak the language, but there's going to be a few things that pop up that we don't understand, so makes sense. Okay, so prime example, that's been blurred out. I don't even know, I don't want to explain what it is, but it's been blurred out, so it should be fine, troops. Heavy trench warfare is what that is. Heavy trench warfare. Okay, let's get straight into this one. So I think it's a brief burst. As always, before you go out on the ground, you want to do some sort of brief. Makes sense, really, right?
Строевой смотр, понял. ДМ, 4 магазина, БК, їжу, душа.
This is the brave warriors who are just about to go out on the ground. Taped up. Now, let's explain this very briefly. You might be thinking, well, what's the point of wearing camouflage if you're going to be wearing tape and stuff like that? Look, it's one of those things. When you're fighting in close proximity with the enemy, you want to be able to understand where your teammates are at all times. And guess what? They too are probably wearing camouflage clothing. So it's one of those give and takes in a wartime situation, all right, where, yeah, green tape stipulates friendly. So it makes perfect sense when you think about it logically. And it gives away a little bit tactically, but, you know, overall, comrade safety is key. All of these men here probably is going to be pretty nervous, but excited at the same time, getting briefed up on the operations and what actually is going to happen.
Сформировать штурмовой взвод из 36 человек, который будет заходить на позиции противника, и тем самым нужно, есть участок фронта, который нужно немного сместить линию обороны противника и выровнять в более удобные условия для нас. Я был там командиром взвода.
Oh, so he's a platoon commander. He's very young. I mean, you know, that's not uncommon. In the Royal Marines, you have things called young officers. The age limit, I think, is 26 or something like that. You have to be 26 years old or very close to that age upon enlistment. So you have to start training at that age. So, yeah, young officers. Why? I think you can be trained to exact standard needed and required, and young fit men actually are the best warfighters. We might not like to accept that, okay, but the guys in the 30s and 40s, yes, with experience can do well, but you can't match youth troops, especially in a soldier and capacity out on the ground. That young youth and tenacity and strength and physical fitness really, really does help.
Друг хижак прийшов, сказав, так і так, хлопці, є можливість штурмувати. Все, я погодився.
Original link will be in the description as well.
Ты идешь на штурм, где, скорее всего, ты можешь получить, не буду говорить что, и ты должен брать с собой тех людей, в которых ты уверен. Ну, у нас никто не идет на штурм, так как, не буду назвать некоторые подразделения. Так, ты идешь на штурм, типа, парни там думают, а че я? У нас на штурм как? Кто хочет на штурм? И желающих всегда масса примерно, типа.
So he's talking about people he trusts,
Типа
effectively.
настраивать, да никого не надо настраивать. Вот кто реально хочет, тот идет на шум. Но очень важно, чтобы этот человек уже прошел какой-то отрезок времени в пехоте, чтобы он понимал, что такое, когда у него 120 летит, 152 и так далее.
Коли тільки
It's the hardest job on the
запропонували цю
planet.
ідею, я думав, що зачем воно треба. А потім, вже коли почали працювати, я вірив в успіх, я думав, що у нас буде все гарно. Я був налаштований, що буде все добре. Впевненість в кожному. Я розумів, що якщо з ним щось станеться, я піду йому допомогти. Якщо зі мною щось станеться, він допоможе мені. Я був впевнений в ньому, мені було комфортно.
Good. So I understand the mentality here. Just going to pause it quickly to give a bit of a understanding. What they're talking about is, I mean, what I'm interpreting it as is you want a good team around you. You're not just going to put anyone on the team, especially when you're doing dangerous stuff. Okay, experience is key. In this case, it might be hard to get experience if you're fresh out of training, and that's why training has to be rigorous, has to be hard, has to be difficult and tough. Okay, they put you through the motions of actual combat and war, so you can trust that individual who's maybe fresh out the box. Okay. So these guys, they're doing the business on a day-to-day, storming the trenches as hard as it gets, effectively. So they want a good, confident team behind them so that they know they can all come home safe or as safe as possible. Very, very tough job indeed. So it looks as if they've done the brief. They're moving in at night so they can get up into their positions. It makes sense to move at night in this type of operation. Probably strike at first dawn, first light of some sort, soften up the positions with some sort of, mortar fire or artillery fire, something like that tactically to soften up those positions. Once that's taken place, you send in the ground troops. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Obviously all coordinated from headquarters of some sort at some position.
Вы танки запустили уже?
Tanks are being utilised. So this is a large scale
Мы работали с танком.
operation.
Была задача такая, что заезжает танк, прорабатывает позиции, прямой наводка. Он заехал прямо на территорию противника. Перед этим там проработали наши саперы. После этого начала работать наша техника.
Man, I'm nervous watching this. Got the guys in the form up point, ready to go. Once those tanks let rip, they're gonna get moving.
Быстро, быстро, быстро!
Be afraid fast, yeah. So that's the guys. Leadership qualities coming out now.
Выдвинулись!
Плюс принял. Плюс, движение.
Плюс принял работать!
Bit of a rush into it now. Lot of troops coming in. Tanks letting rip. Yeah, it's coming home now. As you can see, it's first light. Oh, right. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of an understand here, they move in at night, use the conceal of darkness to be able to get into positions. Assuming that the other opposing forces don't have night vision or some sort, and then utilizing other assets. In this case, what we can see, they've got tanks at hand, they've possibly got drones, most definitely got drones for an aerial observation, and you've got a platoon strength of about 36 individuals on the ground ready to go. It's exciting.
Было весело. Это точно. Ну, я шел в первой четверке, было кайфово.
Okay, so you can hear shots being fired. Not just from the tank, you can hear shots being fired in the distance from the opposing forces. Now, what's happening here is that tank's actually allowing the opposing forces to fire. And what's happening is you can positively identify the locations, because as of yet, you haven't seen any of the infantry assault groups actually shoot their weapon systems. So what they're doing is being able to locate them through the shots being returned. So this is pretty good. The way they're moving in formation there, staggered file. Taking the knee whenever they hear shots. Withdraw, withdraw. Oh, whoa. Okay. That's a big change. This is when
Я иду вторым от танка, там дистанция 20 метров.
things have changed now. They need to start thinking and moving fast.
Я думаю, ого, наверное, надо уже бежать. Я даю команду своей группе, что начинаем движение, двигаться к окопу.
Ижак, я экипаж танка целый, как принял?
Экипаж танка целый, это
Tank crew are safe. Okay, good. It continues.
И в этот момент немного все пошло не по плану.
Listen, no plan survives first contact anywhere. They'll have already been told that, so now it's time to get moving, time to think on the feet, time to get those quick battle orders out and get amongst it, okay? Momentum is key in this situation. You don't let the enemy gain the upper hand. When something's changed in the dynamic of the situation, you need to just, get a move on. This is where the leaders take control, the section commanders and the officers. Right, let's get amongst it. In this case, couple of seconds to pause, think about things. Now they're pushing on through the trench system.
Ця операція підготовлювалась, всі ситуації продумувались, що і як іде, скажімо так, ситуації би такої би не було. Щоб ти якось би розгубився, чи ще якась така штука.
Tank is currently burning.
Мы в моменте самого штурма уже, так сказать, выходили из них просто на месте и принимали решения уже во время непосредственно боя.
Я иду, стреляю по противнику, вижу, как противник вот так стоит. В начале окопа вот так машет головой. Думает, походу габел.
Yeah, they know it's game over because of the sheer size of the assault group. Now they're moving into the trench systems under the cover of smoke, potentially. I don't know if he's through smoke or an actual grenade. It's like a bit of smoke in there. Now they're in. This is where the real fighting starts. And you're going to see the tactics coming through now.
Получается, закидываем гранаты, и там первое укрытие было достаточно тяжелое.
So the teams will be splitting up into individual groups now to push through from slightly different locations.
Мы столкнулись с тем, что там было укрытие, которое за счет обстрела оно снизилось, и надо было ползти.
Я колдун! С3, С2+.
Я такой, в чем дело? Спрашиваю парней, они говорят, надо ползти. Я такой, плюс, ползите. Я выбегаю на бустер. Я резко перезарядился, начинаю дальше вести огонь. Я просто вижу, как выбегает противник и кидает в нас гранату.
Whoa, so they need to get cover there.
Такой, ого.
Whoa, that was very close.
Вон там, понял? Выйди на узнай за мураху, она чистая или нет.
Okay, so what's happening here is there's a lot of grenades being thrown by the opposing forces. They are getting return and fire in. What they need to think about here is, and it's hard to do so when the heat of battle's going on, is ammo conservation. Why? If they've got 4 mags, which I heard them talking about at the briefing point, 4 mags of 30, you know, you're going to go through those pretty quickly. Trust me, all right? Very, very quickly. You don't want to be in a position where you're then encountering, you know, the opposing forces very, very closely and you're having to reload magazines and bomb the magazines up. That's a bad situation to be in.
Очень долго на месте.
Там контроль тоже.
Блядь, какую нахуй, выйди на связь!
So progress seems pretty slow at the moment. Momentum is key, but they also need to be sensible about it.
Повтори. Да, занял.
Didn't get through. Repeat is something you never see on the radio unless you want a repeat fire mission from artillery. So.
Блядь, там красный, надо сейчас вызывать эвакуацию. Ой, не 300! Двигайся ближе! Ваха, я прием.
Some headcount footage there.
Слушай внимательно. Сейчас берешь пулемет.
These trenches aren't that deep in some places.
А торнадо скажи, чтобы он брал пулемет Они. Понял? Плюс, давай.
Very, very close now.
Так нахуй никто не делает, наверное. Но вот это действительно с разряда, вот было бы более наглее, если мы просто на пикапах заехали, подъехали к ним окоп, высадились и такие, говорим, здоров. Это было вообще, типа, больше самое наглое. А так?
Yeah, you've got to be bold though.
Они сначала очень сильно удивились происходящему, вот такие, нас штурмуют, не может быть, типа, где наша артиллерия? Артиллерия там еще спала, наверное. И за счет того, что мы подошли очень тихо и достаточно хорошо сработали.
Yeah, it took them by surprise. The guys were probably a little bit less organised because they weren't thinking of a firefight. That's how these situations unfold pretty quick. It's the response that matters. And in this case, the opposing forces do seem to be responding relatively well.
Колдун, тебе помощь надо восполнять. Минус, у нас все целы, продолжаем работу. Плюс, красавчики, продолжайте.
Everyone's good, everyone's well, everyone's continuing the fight, they're pushing forward.
Стой, не спеши.
See that there? Right, see that? What just happened there? Let me explain. A lot of people wouldn't have noticed that. So he obviously needed a magazine change or something, right? A stoppage. So what he did was he quickly, instead of hastening trying to get a magazine on, quickly moved back and his counterpart got in front of him and started firing rounds down. That took a mere 1 or 2 seconds to do instead of 5-10 seconds to change his magazine. By that point, might have already been shot or something worse. So yeah, that was good drills. I really like that.
Зайди сюда, стой спиной. Поэт, С6 зачищено, будь в готовности, прием.
Shooting over his shoulder, put his hand on his shoulder to let him know that he's there so he doesn't stand up. Good drills. Clearing out this little bunk. Probably going to get a grenade of some sort in there. Yeah. So a couple of rounds in, grenade in, that's clear. So could you move on from that? You could possibly move on if you were contacted from another direction. You do want to get eyes on to see if it is truthfully cleared.
За 6, как принял.
They must have used a lot of ammunition at this moment in time. Obviously, the GoPro footage isn't showing the whole battle scenario, but it looks like they've been fighting for a while now. Section 6 cleared, moving on. Yeah, they're pushing on. Right, so we got a guy injured of some sort. Yeah, rescue. So I'm gonna push on through that. Right, first prisoner of war. This title. So someone is obviously said they don't want to fight anymore, and in this case they're treating them humanely and saying, "Yeah, time up, get him off the battle space, get him out of the fight." Prisoner of war. Rules of war. It's difficult dealing with prisoners of war because it takes one or two people out of the fight to deal with that one individual, and it's going to take some time before you can get him secure. It's obviously a dangerous.
Руки вверх. Нічого нема з собою. Там хтось ще є. Тільки ти один був. Руки вверх. Руки вверх. Визови 2 людей сюди. Все, руки вверх, щоб я бачив. Все. Зачем ви сюди прийшли? Сколько вас тут вообще?
7 people in there. Really close now. The trust levels you've got to have with your oppo here. Shooting over your shoulders. It's got to be on point, man. You've got to worry about things like how many rounds you've got left. See him pulling them back there from the grenade. Good drills. Magazine change, moving to the rear. He's pushing forward. These drills, magazine changes, you've got to be all over them. You've got to be moving really, really quick. Every second counts. You don't want to have your weapon system out of the game for too long. Another trench clear. This trench system is huge. It's absolutely huge.
Плюс.
Needed a grenade, I don't understand it. Plus. I've noticed a lot of the guys are using slightly different variants of AKs. Battle at this point, if you have got the opportunity to start getting some rounds into those magazines, you need to be doing so. Obviously they won't be showing those points, but you see how many rounds they're going through. They're going through magazines very, very quickly. So whenever you've got a few moments, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, where you're taking a knee, someone needs to be getting those magazines bombed back up, ready to go. Someone inside will take it off. He's down, out of action. Right, what's going on here?
Моя була задача, як їх всіх, перш за все, це штурмувати. І допоміжна моя задача це була надавати допомогу, домедичну допомогу і відправляти людей на евакуацію.
Right, okay, I don't want to, out of respect for this, and obviously we're going to get wrong for it, so yeah, we're going to see all that stuff, guys. We're here to break down combat footage, that's it. So this area's been smashed up anyway, because you can see the tree bark and stuff like that is, a lot of the tree bark is lost, it came off the tree, okay, so artillery probably, mortars definitely. As you can see, this area's been smashed up, tanks have been hammering this place. Another trench system.
Ебать. Питер живой еще был. Да? Да. Прок, смотрите, блиндажи внимательно. Пропустили Питер. Я ебу. Хуй его знает, походу нет. Бля. Бля, здорово, да? Да, нормально. Честно.
Bit of confusion with what's going on now. It seems they've been hit with something.
БК красный,
Ammo red, there's an enemy radio. Okay. They're doing really well getting through these trench systems pretty quickly. The weapon drills are good.
Хижак, я пун. Противник готовится зайти в кишку, как принял. Принял. Как принял, про?
This is going to get a little bit sketchy now. These trench systems are coming a little bit more intertwined, a little bit more difficult to move through. Higher walls of the trench systems, little tunnels and stuff now.
Продвигайтесь, нужно заменить наших. Них БК красный.
I think they're starting to run out of ammo as well.
Вот слай мы сидим в
We're sitting in enemy trenches.
Своих выставь. Смотрел тут.
Drawn into the end of the operation, it seems.
Туда, да. Контрольте тот франк, растяни там людей. Суббота, где твои? Где еще
Right, so
твои?
this position here, what they're in there, they've probably been there for a short while. This is when you'd start getting, it sounds stupid, a little bit of water on board if need be, a little bit of chocolate, and definitely getting those magazines bombed up, okay? Checking if any of you have any injuries and stuff like that. If there's a little lull in the battle, you need to be getting, I keep on saying it, the ammunition restocked, okay?
Давай, туда, парни, не теряемся.
Lots of grenades going in here. Lots of grenades. Whoa. Right, so let's have a look at what happened here. So we've got a guy moving in. We've got this individual here, sorting his radio out, waiting for commander direction. He moves up. This guy isn't really following him up. He isn't really following him up on... I would have liked to have seen him push up to about here. Should have been very close to him. He's effectively took that trench by himself. Yeah. So again, just for YouTube, there's nothing graphic that we've seen, but definitely something's happened there. Okay, close combat.
Харон. Я хижак, прием.
That was a bit of a... I didn't like that bit there. You should always be followed up by someone or a group of people, to be fair. There was no one following him up. And guess what? That one time where we've seen that lapse in concentration and teamwork, something actually happened. So, yeah. how you want a couple of weapon systems down there. He's shooting as it is moving forward. You want someone over the top of him pointing his weapon down range as well. You might see something that the other person doesn't. As simple as that, guys, okay? Okay, it's blurred out, but we're going to forward it anyway. So this trench is the last one, it seems.
лежит пулеметчик.
Dragonfly cleared, right.
Жили отошли. В таком
Destroyed
темпе
them
потерь
through, right.
намного
So,
меньше.
so okay, so real good footage that. What did I make of it? So obviously they had a brief. They went in there. They concealed themselves with the cover of darkness, moved in, and then attacked First Light. Went in with a tank, steamrolled the place, getting the heavy munitions down range, and effectively took the enemy by surprise. Really well coordinated from the offset. Had to change plan due to the tank getting early on, and yeah, really good in terms of how I seen all of the troops command and control work really well. The only bit I seen where probably could have done things differently would have been that last little bit there. All right, he should have been followed up, that guy, with at least another 1 or 2 weapon systems pointing down range with him. But that's war. It's very difficult. These guys did an amazing job. And yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the footage. If you did, like, share, subscribe. If you want to see more of this, drop a comment for the algorithm. It's probably not going to make... these videos sometimes get demonetized, okay? So if you want to join the Patreon to support me, I'd really appreciate it, troops. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.